Hello, everyone. This is Grandmaster Jessie Bowen with the Elite Publications, and today we are still celebrating the Become an Author podcast and all of the authors that we're meeting and the lives that we're changing. So this is a great day today because I have really three martial artists. They've just been featured in our Elite Martial Artists in America compilation book. So we want to talk about it, so the experience. So if you're a published author and your book, was successful, you sold books and it's still out there and it's still making a difference. So you know the experience that we're talking about, but maybe you released your book and it just fell flat. Then you may not have that same synergy, but you can always give your book back life. And this program is about martial artists, and we came up with this concept because everyone has successes and experiences in their life. And we published on the secrets to life, the secrets to leadership, and the secrets to business. So this book is not a book just for martial artists. It's a book for anyone wanting to empower their lives. I look at it as more of a motivational book. If you're a martial arts school owner, this is a great book to add into your school and read a chapter each week for your leadership team. I mean, the information is really that good. It's a great book. Anyone that comes into your school and they want to read a book, then this is a book I recommend because it's not talking about technique. It's really talking about the secrets of life. Who doesn't want to know that? And that secret is based upon the things we've gone through and the results that we have achieved on the other end. All of our instructors are senseis, master level instructors. So they're not just people that just dropped into martial arts for a day or two. They've been living this and it's a part of them. So I'm going to start off introducing our authors today. We have Freddie McNeil, we have Daryl Solings, and we have Kevin Hooker. Hey guys, how you doing?
Good, thank you for having us.
Good.
Great.
That is awesome.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys. I get a chance to actually have a visual with you. We talk all during the week, or we're going back and forth. So, the book is now, we're going into week number 6 of the book being released. And, every week we've got things going out there trying to spread the word about you, about how your life has been impacted through the martial arts study, through just life experiences. And so I'm going to kick it off with Master McNeil as we begin to, chat about his experience. I know we all have other things we do besides the martial arts. I'm a martial artist. I'm a minister. I'm a publisher. So we have all these different hats that we're able to wear. So Mr. McNeil, I'm going to go ahead and kick it off to you and have you to, tell us a little bit about you, the chapter that you've written, and I know that you're doing a lot of marketing. I think I just sent you I'm sending you $100 hotel savings card because you've been posting more than anyone else. So you're the winner. Now you cannot win next week now. So let's talk where we have Master Freddie McNeil.
Well, Hanchi, thank you so much for this amazing opportunity. And I want to thank you for the opportunity, Jess, to be a part of this awesome endeavor. I am I'm 58 years old, getting ready to turn 59 next month. And my background is I retired 3 years ago. I was executive director over human resources for Durham Public Schools, where I was over about 7,000 people. And so just to see Mr. Hooker and Mr. Sullins, and I read their chapters, phenomenal chapters. And it really showed me that how important leadership is, and also being a reverend in an AME Zion Methodist church, leadership is very important. And being a co-author, we always say, I've had friends to write books, and they say, well, Freddie, you ought to one day write you a book. And I said, well, maybe I will, maybe I won't. So actually, Punchy Bowen gave me the opportunity, and I kid you not, I'm glad I took on that opportunity, because it has really, truly made a difference with a lot of my instructors in my classes. Also, I teach a kickboxing class, and I have about 30 people in there that purchased my book. And so the mayor, and I just met with the Durham police chief today. She purchased a book too. So my chapter is chapter 14. And, everybody wants to be a leader, but the truth of the matter is everybody can't be a leader. Somebody's got to follow. But the person that's leading has to be a good leader, and they have to have what they call a servant leader mentality. And so my chapter was titled, Many Are Called, but Few Are Chosen. And, and the reason I chose this is because, a lot of people don't realize leadership started from the biblical days with Moses and his father-in-law, Jethro. And, and so I took that when Jethro asked Moses one day, Moses, how's it going? And Moses says, well, they're really on my case. I don't know what to do with all these people. And then that's when his father-in-law said, well, why don't you just break them up into tribes? So that's where the leadership comes from. So, but also, I told you I'm a reverend too. Jesus had a phenomenal leadership, but his leadership was about being a servant. So he was a servant leader. And being a servant leader, you can get the job done, but at the same time, you have to treat your people right. And that's important in the leadership piece. And you can get so much more done, just treating people right and show the people that you care about them with a caring mentality. And as I said, working downtown, being over the Department of HR, and, you're the leader, and you have young and older people older than you, looking towards your leadership. So you had to treat everybody fair. And so the book has really made a big difference in my life already too, because I also, I have a foundation called Sidekicks Academy. But my studio is called Academy of Champions. But my Sidekicks Academy is a 501c3. It's a nonprofit foundation, and I'm currently in 3 schools. So it is really, and to really, that this book has really helped. It is truly helping to fund my program. I have about 250 kids in my program, and they want me to take on other schools, but I'm still trying to build. I have a staff of about 22, but the book has really helped me so we can do things with the kids and, go on field trips with them, buy them hygiene things and just do things with them. And the book has really been phenomenal. And I want to thank all the people who wrote in this book a story, especially on leadership. And it just shows that, what we do as leaders, it impacts a community. So that's what I'm going to leave you with. It's been phenomenal. It's been a wonderful opportunity for me. I never thought in all my lifetime I would be in a book. And again, Hanchi, thank you so much, man. You my best friend, man. You're my best friend, because I tell you, what a lot of people have asked me, especially from an HR perspective. So why don't you put that in a book, education and how education influences human resources? So, I always talked about it, but that would be my next book with you. And I thank you again for that opportunity, sir.
Wow. You're going to make me cry. Wow. Well, this is what we're talking about, everyone. We're talking about the power of a book, of being an author that's directed and narrated. We all have a story. We just have to get it out. And this is what I discovered, going back, over 40 years ago. I've written over 30 books, but wherever I am and whatever I'm doing, I write a book on it. If I've got to sit down and take notes or make a plan, then why not come up with a brilliant plan, not just a plan, but to do that. And not only something that's a plan, but that benefits me, then I can pass that knowledge on. That's the thing about being a teacher, or is, that you learn something and you teach someone else, because guess what? That's the way you get better. If I learn something and then I go back and teach you how to do it, I become better at doing that. And so that's some of the things that we've done. Again, thank you so much, for what you have done in your, in the martial arts. And I remember when you were just a young grasshopper.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And you've done so much. And I want you to know from my heart, I'm extremely proud of you.
Thank you, sir.
Because, you're one of those people that I know. I've seen you grow up, graduate high school, go off to college,
Yes, sir.
and do all these things and really be connected. So everyone, these are martial artists. These are people that's not about, their martial arts is a part of their foundation. It's not all about what they do. They have learned to work and beyond outside of the bucket. So I'm going to move on to Kevin. Hey, Kevin, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, sir?
I am doing great. Again, thank you for being a part of our compilation book. When we sent out information, you were one of those, 25 people that responded. And, we thank you for the opportunity to meet you and for all that you've been as a part of our organization and becoming a co-author in this book. So why don't you share some information, with us, like Mr. McNeil, the same premises, introduce yourself, tell us, what section your chapter's in, tell us the name of your, what your chapter is, and the experience, and how has this experience influenced your life, and, what does it mean to you to be a co-author in the Elite Martial Artists in America book?
Absolutely. I think starting off, I want to definitely say thank you for the opportunity. Don't mean to parrot everybody's responses, but I'm just humbled and honored to be part of such an incredible group of men and women, and reading their stories and going through, some of these chapters. It's just incredible to be part of that. It inspires me. I feel like, I've always wanted to write a book, just never had the opportunity. So to be given an opportunity to be part of something with such incredible people, it's a humbling experience, for sure. But it's such an honor. So I'm really honored for the opportunity from the Elite publications. I'm truly, as we move forward through kind of my story, this is new for me. So some of this is kind of overwhelming to a degree. Never really been part of such a great group of people, in the amount of people that are here. For me, I work with a few people. My instructor that's out of Dallas, that's a huge inspiration for me. My story gets kind of complicated. I've been in the martial arts for 30 years on and off now. I started Kempo about 25 years ago. And it's something, it's a spark. I think every martial artist can tell you, you get this spark when you start. It's about you, it's about what you learn. And then as you move through that, the people that you meet, you have an opportunity to teach once in a while. And for me, that opportunity to teach became a lot deeper than just me. It became about serving. It became about, helping other people. And It changed everything that I do. Started my own school, took over my old instructor school when he retired. And then I've been trying to just kind of maintain and grow this school on top of this other things that I do. So it's been a great, unbelievable journey so far, for sure.
Great. So what's your what section did you write in?
I wrote on leadership. When the opportunity came to me, it almost wrote itself. I've been recently struggling through some business issues, and this thing just kind of fell into the typewriter. I mean, I was just going and going and going, and I couldn't believe at some of the things that were kind of coming to my mind. But it literally just kind of spilled out of me, which was kind of incredible experience as well. I like to talk about and share my values on leadership, because I feel truly that every person on the planet can become something greater if they just have some key concepts that they follow. And that's kind of what I put in my chapter of the book.
Yeah, and that's one of the powerful things about writing is that wherever you are in life, that's the best place to write from. You know, you're saying that as this opportunity came and you're going through some other things, and so it helps you think outside the box, because you can begin to write things down. That's the reason why I tell everyone, you know, I have all these books out there, but they're about events that were happening in my life, you know, right now. I wrote a book back here a few months ago. It's called On Forgiveness. God Forgives, Why Not You? And I was dealing with some family issues that, you know, Hunchy's used to be not a very forgiving person. So, you know, they were going to get pushed over a cliff, you know, like, okay, you got to go. And because I was dealing with that, and this was right before I did my initial sermon back here in October, and God's dealing with me, and he sat me down and he began to show me about what I was doing and how I was destroying my family. And my granddaughter just had my great grandson in December, and God began to show me the impact of my behavior, my action, that what my children, my grandchildren, my great grandchildren would be carrying on, and began to show me that. And I actually wrote about 25 pages before I could get up out of my seat, you know, and things I didn't know began to flow to me. And from that, you know, we've sold hundreds of copies of the book. It made an Amazon international bestseller. I've got people asking me to come on programs and talk about forgiveness. So that's the power of becoming an author. So someone says, well, I don't know what to write about. My life has no story. Everybody's life has a story. He said, well, my life just has bad things in it. Okay, then tell me what I shouldn't do. You know, so we all have a story, and we just have to get it out. So, you know, I really, you know, commend you, Kevin, of looking at that point. Journaling is a very powerful tool. So when you are journaling, you get a chance to go inside of your head and take things out and put it on paper. When you're journaling, you know, we talk about the mental issues we're having, and many of those mental issues is because we play it over and over in our head. We're not able to get it out of our head, but if we had to journal it, to write stuff down, that's another way for us to we don't have that person to talk to, write about it. How do you feel about it? How do you get it out of your head? And who knows, one day, I used to keep a bad news journal. You know, a bad news journal is where you're going through stuff and you don't want to tell anybody about it, and you're angry about it. So I would write it all down. Then I'd burn the pages on it, you know, so congratulations. Congratulations, Kevin, on what you've done. Congratulations. Let's go on over to Daryl.
Thank
Hey,
you.
sir, how you doing?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I know you are international martial arts champion. So, tell us a little bit about you. Where you are, some of your experiences, and your chapter in the book, and what section it's in, and how has the book influenced your life in this past 6 weeks?
It's great. My name is Daryl Sullivan Sr. I'm here in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm a 6th degree black belt. I'm a former member of the United States World Karate Team, United States Pan American Karate Team, won a gold medal in the 1981 Pan American Games. It's been great, and it's just another bullet in my holster. I travel the country now, doing workshops and seminars for individuals who aspire to compete on the Olympics. And most people don't know how to do it, the pathway to do that. So I do seminars and workshops on and doing that. I'm also a speaker. The book is really pushing me beyond the comfort zone. Again, coming up, I was a person, like I wrote in my chapter 20, exemplary leadership. I wrote that I had my self-image was so low as tripping ants. I didn't think I could achieve because I was told that I wasn't good enough, fast enough, strong enough, or smart enough. And I bought into that, what society and others was telling me. But my sensei, Grandmaster Ken Ferguson, he passed away a couple of years ago. When I first went in there, he looked at me and said, after practice, he said, "You'll be good if you practice." I have never had anyone tell me that. And then once I started my first 3 tournaments, I lost. And I was going to quit. But my mother said, "Don't quit. You're going to win someday. I'll pay the entry fee. Don't you quit." And so my mindset switched. It said, I'm going to stop being afraid. I understood that I was losing because I had the techniques, I had the all the training, but I was fighting afraid. And in 2 Timothy 1:17 said, God did not give me the spirit of fear. And I said, look, they're going to start being afraid of me. I'm also an elder in my church. So I put that into practice and I began to win. I kept winning and ended up on the U.S. team. You may have heard some of the guys, Toka Hill, Billy Blanks, those were my teammates. And we were a 2nd ranked team, but we beat the 1st ranked team and won the gold. And one thing that I tell my kids, I said, it's okay to have fear, but don't let the fear have you. And I don't mind that you shoot high and miss. My problem is if you shoot low and hit it. And so what this book has done for me is giving me a pathway, giving me a conduit to get these thoughts out of my head onto paper, because I wouldn't even done this stuff if it hadn't been for other people and Grandmaster Jessie Bowen's reaching out, and I wasn't even going to call him back, but somebody that knew him said, great guy, good character, called him back, and he gave me the vision, and I grabbed hold of that vision. This experience of writing the book, like I said, when you don't know what to do, you do nothing. Everybody wants to write a book, but until you have somebody around you with the expertise, because you always think that you have to know everything, that you have to be the smartest, have the most finances, have to have all the intellect and all that, but you don't. If you put a team around you, I speak to veterans once or twice a month, the Veterans Business Outreach Center, veterans from all over, active duty, on business and leadership. So when this opportunity came, that fits right in. And Grandmaster Bowen says, when I submitted my chapter, he called me and he said, you need to write a book. This needs to be in book form. And how I'm using the book currently, I've been on a couple of radio shows and podcasts, and I'm talking about the book in form of like a workbook. I talked about Kim Blake, who at 42 years old started in the martial arts and became 2-time world champion. I talk about Kevin. Kevin's talking about humility and charisma, and Fred McNeil. the Sidekick Academy. I thought that was great. I went on and looked at his videos and stuff. Now I'm connected with people around the country who I never knew before, and they're giving me little nuggets that I can add to what I'm doing now. So the book is phenomenal in that sense. It made me an author, and enhanced my business and what I'm doing. And I'm connecting to a lot of people around the world. And I'm letting people know, if I can do it, someone who didn't like to read coming up, if it didn't have a picture in it, I wasn't picking it up. Now I'm writing books. So I thank you, Grandmaster Bowens and Kevin and Fred, for contributing, sharing your life, your journey with me. That's going to enhance my life and the people around me. And I thank you.
All of you guys are going to make me cry. Wow, while there, that is, really, really intriguing, because your journey and my journey, basically they sound like they're identical, of growing up, picked on, and never could defend myself. I grew up as an only child, and I was told I would never succeed. All of those things that was actually my fuel. If I looked at that and I took it as a challenge, then I could become better. You see, and I didn't know that, but when I met my martial arts instructor, at the age of 21, he was the first person ever told me that I could be good. Mm-hmm. And then after failing and failing and failing in my martial arts, I'm the only guy that never won. I went to competitions every week. It wasn't until I started my teaching career as a green belt. And one of the young ladies, after I failed my purple belt test, came out and said, so if we fail, we should quit. I became a leader at that very moment. I know the moment I became a leader. I was putting all my gear in my 1976 Monte Carlo with the T-top, swivel seats. I was planning on driving off into the sunset, never to return again. That was it. If she hadn't came out there, we would not be having this conversation. When she came out there and said that, so are we supposed to quit if we fail? I said no. I took my gear on, I went back in there, and I won, because after our test, large organization, we had tournaments, and I won my first place trophy. I had never won anything in my life. I slept with the trophy, but that was a long time ago. 2,000 trophies, 2 world titles, 30 books, all these things. And as you said, Daryl, self-esteem so low that I could trip over an ant, that I think that's the way you had it there. But that's what we're talking about. But the martial arts has empowered our lives. I recommend anyone that has a child, or anyone at any point in your life that want to learn to discover themselves, is to find a good teacher and enroll and begin the life of the martial arts. And, everyone, we've got some great martial artists on our program today. They've written these great articles, these great chapters in their books. You can go to Amazon and pick it up. Look in our post here. We've got links to where you can get their own individual books. And the thing that we did with this book, which was unique, was that you're not just in it, but we gave you the opportunity to monetize your book. So it's not me monetizing, the book and you're in it, but we've developed the ways for you to be able to monetize, to be able to market, to be able to build your brand. And, we are here to support that. We're here to support your next book and, anything that you want to do. But I just want to say thank you for what you've done. I think this was a great podcast. So our listeners, remember, this is an inspirational podcast by individuals that never thought that they would write a book, or it was over here way back in their mind. But guys, I commend you for taking the advantage of the opportunities. Life provides opportunities for us every day. How many opportunities do we not take the advantage of? So any last words from you, Master McNeil?
Again, I want to thank all of you. Apparently, we're all on the same accord, especially when it comes to leadership. And Hunchy Bowen, thank you so much again for the opportunity. And I encourage any and everybody to pick up a copy of this book, because it is definitely life lessons in the book, as well as leadership and business as well. So I encourage everyone to get a copy of this book.
All right, great. Kevin, any last words from you?
I would say when God presents you the opportunities, step through those doors, because sometimes it just takes a little bit of courage, but you have to seize the opportunities when they come to you, because this one, it was God-given, and I can't even begin to thank the people that gave me this opportunity. So thank you. And yes, absolutely. Get this book. It's awesome.
Hey, Daryl, last words?
Yeah, just to piggyback on what's all been said, is a great opportunity. When you get the book, what I tell people is, don't just read the book like any other book. Read paragraphs, stop and say, how does this apply to me? How can I use this to help someone else? Form a book club and talk about the principles, the precepts in there that the authors talk about, and use it and build upon that. That's how I'm using the book, more like a workbook type. And my wife, she's a librarian, and I'm going to be speaking at the schools, some schools, and talking about that, because most people don't see themselves as getting outside of their comfort zone. This book could be the catalyst, the foundation of doing it. And I thank you again for inviting me to be a part of the project. I would never have met Kevin or Fred. And let me say this: when I retire, I'll be 62 next month. North Carolina is probably the place I'll end up, because I was stationed in New Bern, North Carolina, in a Marine Corps base there. And so I don't want to be off the coast. Some hurricanes come through there, but North Carolina is probably the place I end up. But I was able to connect with 25 people from around the country. How many people can you connect with right in your neighborhood, in your home, by using this book as a foundation, changing lives? Thank you.
Wow, that is awesome. And the thing, everyone, not only are our guests today, powerful people in their respective martial arts, but I can actually feel the spiritual base that we have here, that's bringing us together here, together in this podcast. This book is not just a book. This book can be a life-changing book because of its foundation, even in the concept of this idea. This book can make a difference in someone's life. So, check out the book. You can go to the respective websites of these guys. You can go to who's who in the martialarts.com, Elite Publications. And if you're thinking about writing a book, go to Elite Publications and the elitepublications.org. Shoot us an email. I'll be more than happy to talk about your story, what you're thinking about, give you some direction. It's free. The conversation is free, just to support that concept of you discovering how to make a difference in the world by your thoughts, by your writing. We are all influencers, and we have to determine how we want to be able to influence others. Everyone, this is Jessie Bowen with Elite Publications. Remember, the book is Elite Martial Artists in America. Check it out. Let us know how we can support you.
Elite Publications would like to thank all of our listeners, supporters, social media followers, and authors for helping us to become an award-winning podcast and publishing company. We celebrated our 1-year anniversary by introducing the authors that have published through Elite Publications, sharing their testimonies about our service and support, and monetizing their books. Learn how you can unlock the wealth of your life story, writing about your experiences. It can also help you make sense of the present and plan for the future. Whatever your motivations may be, writing about your experiences can be a fulfilling and cathartic process. Unsure how to get started? This is not a problem. Contact Elite Publications today and schedule your author's success coaching session. We work with authors in all genres: children's books, Christian books, memoirs, fiction, and nonfiction. Don't wait. Contact Elite Publications today. To follow our podcast and listen to all the amazing authors' stories, visit www.becomingauthorpodcast.com. Our podcast is also available on Anchor, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Audible Books, and other podcast networks. Remember, everyone has a story, you just have to get it out. Contact Elite Publications for your book project.